So take two on that Water-Meth kit that I installed in my car with that plate and everything. Today I want to put in some lights. So it's not just the lights, I want to put in some lights there in the back to make it look good, and then also I want to get the on and off switch to activate. That's a pretty big job. So I've got to literally remove that entire plate, but I kind of like the way that it's designed. It's actually so super easy. It's 3 bolts. I just unplug the power cable, unplug the water meth piping that's going from the pump. The whole thing comes out just like that. So it's not like such a big hassle, big struggle and all of that. Pretty darn easy. Then I'm quickly gonna have to drill a new hole because I was thinking about how am I gonna install the light behind the tank, because you can't really put a light inside the tank, you gotta put it behind the tank. Okay, so I just quickly drilled my hole. There it is over there. Got a small blister over there. I'm not too bothered about it so much. Obviously, the cover is going to be on here. So there it is. So basically what I'm going to do is this cable over here, I'm trying to look at it like it's very long. So what I'm going to do is these ones you can actually cut off on these lines. So I cut it off there. So what I'll do is I'll cut this one off over here. And then I'm going to like place it somewhere like that, and then the whole wiring and stuff will go through the hole, then obviously coming out at the back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this part off, feed it through, and then I'm going to stick this to the back, and then obviously I'm going to tighten the bottle into it again. Okay, so here we go. I've connected them. So basically one's on the top I cut off. I put this heat shield or wiring shield, whatever you want to call it here, because this amp they do get a little bit hot, so I don't want it to melt or anything. Just a bit of extra protection. And then this one over here, yes, is in front of the light, but once I actually tighten it at the bottom, it will go like that, and then it will be open. So what I did was I connected this wire with this light over here, and then I took this wire from the light here at the back, I opened it a little bit in the middle, and then I connected the 2 red lights to it, and then I took it here in the plug. So I removed these 2 metal pieces, and then I connected it there, and it's done. So once we plug it in and we put the system on and the fuel gets power, it will actually come on. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly put it in a car and check the light before I'm going to go and tighten it. Maybe one of the lights is not going to work or whatever the case is, so perfect time to quickly check it out. So here is our progress. I've been battling. I've used these lights over here. Oh, this is how they look from behind. That's pretty cool. Anyway, I don't know why, but it just doesn't seem to work, and I tested at the shop and it worked. So I had these LED strips at in one of the rooms, so I used it actually on those boards. It's like goes up against the wall, has lights behind it. It's actually pretty nice. So it's like these hexagon stuffies, so then it shines out underneath from the sides of it, obviously. So then I placed a strip here. I felt because I am going to put this plug here, it's gonna, if I put it here, it might like it blocked some light, so I decided let me put it here, put one over there, and then the one goes through the back, and then what happens is it goes down here, they come together. So here they all connect, and then they come out over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a positive together, I'm going to put a negative together, and then I'm going to put each one of them in their own trunking and cut them the same size. So I think it's going to look good. Wow, was it difficult. So the sun is just, as soon as I look in here, it's just like making it blurry. So I've got this blanket here. So this is how you all know it, right? So you can see the wiring there. Everything is good. The fuel line going up there, going back there. Very happy with it. And then there is the cable. Here at the back. There's the cable for the lights. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly put my ignition on. For whatever reason, when I was trying to edit the video, I lost this slide, so I quickly had to remake it. So let's quickly have a look at it with the ignition on. Are you guys ready for this? My gosh, guys, I'm speechless. This looks really good, and you guys should see it in nighttime. It's super bright. So what I like about it is you can see the level is right over there. So obviously I can top it up a bit. One of the things of the setup that I don't like is the bottle is actually on an angle. So if you look here on the side, I'm gonna hold the phone straight. Let me hold the phone straight. Okay, to me this is straight, but the plate's a bit on of an angle, if it makes any sense. So you can't throw it till the top. If you like throw it till here, it's gonna be here by the lid. So I just made myself a new marker. I'm gonna keep it like right over there. But once again, this is probably me 2 weeks having it already, only recording, well, editing the video now and gonna upload it. So this is 2 weeks, literally. Maybe I've used 100 mil or something. So I haven't used a lot though, or maybe 200 mil or whatever you want to say. So, but yeah, this looks absolutely beautiful. I love how the piping goes. I love the wiring. It looks good. The only thing I don't like is this sponge over here. I mean, like one day maybe I'll remove it and then just clean it out nicely. Even this, it looks like it's dirty, which it is, but it's like some kind of glue or something on it. So that can be also cleaned. And maybe we can get this bottom piece to be white, such as this inner arch over here. So anyway, okay, let me quickly continue with the rest of the video and telling you why it was so difficult to get it working. So you guys might have wondered why I said that this is so difficult to install a few LED lights. The problem of installing the LED lights was not the problem. The problem was to get it lit up. So basically what happens is these lights over here, I wanted to connect them with the pump, and that was my whole plan from the beginning. So I've got a plug right underneath here that basically goes from this line and goes in there at the back, and then it goes to the pump here at the back. So I opened that little plug and I put the wires in behind. It just didn't want to work, and one of the guys actually said that, hey, it might actually work, but it turns out that my system is not pre-pressurized. The reason why it's not pre-pressurized is because I don't have a solenoid yet. So I can actually do that, use the plug once I've got my solenoid, and then I can use the power from the pump, because then the pump is basically always on, holding the power. Because basically what happens now is the pump's completely off. I got my voltage reader, meter, whatever you want to call it. I looked at the voltage and there's currently no voltage. There's literally like 6 volts from the positive side, but negative there's nothing. Only once it comes on, it gives 12 volts. Otherwise, nada. So I couldn't even use the positive or the negative. The 6 volts when it was off was just way too little. So then I had to make a plan B. So as you guys can see, the cables goes there, and I told myself that I don't want to have a system with a switch where I have to put it on and off the entire time, because what happens if I forget? It's going to drain my battery. So then I took the cable from here all the way through to the back. We went here into this side, my black plastic bags for my overalls at work. So over here is the white cable. So what I did was I found a ground there, so I grounded it, and then over here on this fuse there is a positive, and this fuse only gets power when the ignition is on. So for now I've got this temporarily planned. So there is actually a wire where you can you guys might have seen it on my Water-Methanol video. You take out a fuse, you plug it in, and you plug the fuse you removed in there. So there's 2 fuses that basically gives a fuse on this cable. So I can do that to make it look better. So, but I think I'm going to do the solenoid part, and then right over there is my spare Water-Methanol. I'll get some proper place to store everything and all of that. But that gives you an idea what I had to do to get basically power to the lights in this case. Alright, so I quickly worked on the switch. So I put a switch in the car, so just to show you. So with these stage 2 Water-Methanol kits, as soon as the red light is on, then you know it's on. So I'm going to turn my ignition on, and it's still off. Right, so what I did was I'm going to put my flash on. Let me show you where I placed the switch. I think you guys can see it. This little button right over here. So what I'm going to do is just turn the flashlight off again. So what I'm going to do is right over here, I can feel it. So let's go back over here. Damn, that is so cool. So now I'm gonna switch it off again. That is so freaking sick. I know it's probably not like such a great woohoo or whatever the case is, but especially because I've got a small tank, it's just to always make sure I can use it when I want to use it, and then not just like have it spill all over the place if something had to go wrong or whatever the case is, you know. So I think it's a pretty cool thing to have it on a Switch. Anyway guys, there we go. Mission successful. This was day 2. This install was actually pretty darn quick. So I just took that orange cable that ran underneath that goes here into the fuse. I just cut it in half and then just joined the two to the button.